actual story. Well, I remember the first time I met Helen, we're at university, and one of our friends said that there's a girl that needs a lift home. I asked her to point out who it was. That one over there, sort of squinted, saw Helen across the room. I thought, oh yeah, she's a bit of all right. And I gave her a lift home from university for the next 3 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And then only friends for 3 years.
And then I remember the day we graduated, we went out partying and ended up in a park late at night, and my biggest mistake is I didn't kiss you the first night.
Yeah, I was wondering, why aren't you going to kiss me? When are you going to kiss me? Yeah. That was good though.
Yep, and then after that night I decided I quite liked her. And then I couldn't eat for about a week. Until I told her. So I decided that I quite liked Helen, and being the romantic person that I am, decided to write her a note and send her flowers to work. And unbeknownst to me, she was at home sick, and so the flowers got sent to work, and I waited for a day.
No call.
Yeah. 2 days, no call. And I was...
So you actually thought that it wasn't reciprocated?
Yes, I
and
did.
that you'd ruined the friendship and...
Absolutely.
That type of
And
thing.
I couldn't eat at all.
Yeah,
I was stressing out.
So one of my friends from work, she called me and she said, oh, you've got flowers. I'm like, no way. And so I said, well, who are they from? And she opened the card, and it was a roses are red, violets are blue poem.
Classy.
It was all class. And then it said love, and she couldn't read the signature. 24 hours later, I decided to go in, and I looked at the card and I said, oh my God, it's from Simon. And sat down and thought, oh, that's great. But I knew it had been so long, and I knew that it must have been really difficult for him to send the flowers after knowing each other for 3 years, etc. So back in those days, we didn't actually have mobile phones, and so I called his work, and the receptionist answered, and it was Danita.
Yep.
And I said to Danita, and Danita had known that Simon had sent the flowers to me, so she said, oh, Helen. Yeah. And I said, oh, can you can you leave a message for Simon, please? And she said, no, he's right here. And I said, no, I don't want to talk to him now. I just said, can I leave a message and say, the feeling's mutual, come over tonight. So since that time...
I carried that little note in my wallet for about 15 years.
Until the wallet got
Until
lost.
I lost my wallet.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was about the last night we spent apart, and your parents had to
exactly.
put up with me moving in the very next day. I think when I was buying the flowers, the fact that I couldn't eat for 2 weeks is kind of an indicator. And I really didn't eat much. And I remember I went over to your mum's place to watch State of Origin, and I brought Thai food with me, and I just sat there and stared at it because I still hadn't figured out how to tell Helen yet, because we were good mates. So it was probably about that time.
So
I think when your body goes into absolute meltdown because you haven't actually told someone that you really like them. So yeah, that was about then, but it was pretty early on.
Early on in terms of boyfriend, girlfriend, but 3 years before anything sort of actually happened, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was sort of very quick after that. It was move in, 3 months, we're engaged after...
3 months again after that?
After 9 months
Yeah.
maybe, and
Yep.
then 7 months later we were married. So 24 we got married.
So the proposal, yeah, I'd love to tell you that it was a romantic one, but it was less than romantic. After buying the ring in Antwerp and all of the anticipation, I guess, that I had, I took it to a rock concert in the mosh pit with a diamond ring stuffed down my pocket so I didn't lose it. Got back about 3 weeks later, and I arrived from the airport. I hadn't seen Helen in sort of almost 2 months, and we were young, so what did? We dived straight into bed, having not seen her for a couple of months, and I think I just couldn't hold it in anymore, so I rolled over and proposed. So it wasn't down on one knee.
Well, yeah, that's how it happened. And then so we did go out to dinner that
Yep.
night. Do you remember?
I do.
And then you couldn't propose then. You were too nervous. And
Yep.
then so what happened was the next morning after that, You just said, oh my God, like you just wanted to sort of,
Get it over and done
get
with.
it over and done with, yeah. I remember being really nervous when he did propose, going, wow, this is big.
Was big.
Yeah, exactly.
At 24?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I guess. Yeah. But it's been amazing. We've been together for 18 years, and I think that I'm just so grateful for the fact that we were so young, really, and
Yep.
we didn't have any expectations about what we wanted to do in life. We'd never spoken about whether we wanted to have kids or not. We didn't really know.
Figured
anything.
it.
Yeah, we just sort of
Figured it out.
figured it out as we went and figured it out together, which
Yep.
has been lovely. It's been great.
Still figuring it out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's got a long way to go.
The wedding was beautiful. Helen's dad was in the Navy, so we decided to have it at South Head at HMS Watson. And it was incredible. It was right up there on the south head of Sydney. The back window of the church looked out to sea. Neither of us are particularly religious, but it was an awesome place to get married. The highlight of the ceremony for me was the priest forgot to...
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, he forgot to tell us to kiss at the end.
You may now kiss the bride. You forgot that line.
Completely forgot it. And
So we were just
everybody
all
on
sitting there going, I think you've forgotten something. Oh my God, stop the music. You may now kiss the bride. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
And then everyone cheered. It was nice. It was good.
And then the reception, it was the officers' mess.
Yeah, it was great.
So
It's
there's
beautiful.
nice big plates with the gold Australian emblem on the bottom. So that was pretty cool. That was actually the second wedding I'd ever been to. And I went to my first ever wedding about 2 weeks before. So I had absolutely no idea what was involved in a wedding. But
Which
it
was
was
sort
pretty
of
good.
nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No expectations. It's good.
And Helen had me practicing dancing for 3 months beforehand.
Oh, we did too. We did a good waltz though.
We did a waltz.
Yeah.
To a song out of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, yeah. You can't waltz now though.
No, can't dance to save myself.
We decided to move overseas. We were both going to Canada, and then Simon had a job there, and then I was going over as well. I was going to find a job, and then I found out I was pregnant. So this was sort of 7 years after we got married, which was amazing that I was pregnant, but it wasn't particularly planned or anything.
I was commuting from Toronto to Frankfurt every week, so fly out every Sunday, fly back in every Saturday morning. And
Yeah.
we had a 6-month-old, Alex.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hi, here you go. Here's the baby.
There haven't been any real tough times.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there have, but I think we've always talked through it.
Yep.
Oh, we're pretty good at not like being angry when we go to sleep. Like we always make sure we talk things out and
Yep.
that type of thing. Yeah.
Yep. But she's stuck with me though. That's
Yeah.
good.
Totally.
There's no point in arguing.
So what do I adore about Simon? Well, he's definitely, if I'm the yin, he's the yang for me. So he's, for me, he grounds me. He gives me a lot of line, but knows how to reel me in when I need to be reeled in. He's a gentleman. He's a lovely man. Always very sincere and tender. And he's really smart too. I'm always impressed by how smart he is.
What do I adore about Helen? Well, I think the thing that strikes me about Helen the most is her laugh. It's absolutely toxic and infectious. But I also think that one of the things I really love about her is she's quite sensible a lot of the time, and I'm quite not sensible a lot of the time. So it's kind of the yin and yang thing again. And I think she's a planner. She's quite detailed in what she plans, and I think I'm sometimes a little bit too fluffy. I've got all these ideas and she plans it out, but we generally sort of put the two together and it works really well. So it's and I just like her company. She's just a good person to hang around with. We were best mates for 3 years before we got together, so it was pretty clear that we were pretty compatible. And when we work together, we work really well, and it's good. Great ideas bouncing off each other. It's good. Oh, the first thing that popped into my head is don't overthink it. I think if you try and plan everything, nothing ever goes the way you plan it, and you just disappoint yourself. I think the most important thing is go with your gut, go with your heart, and just don't overthink it. And it probably finds you when you're least looking for it. I certainly wasn't looking for the love of my life when I was at university. I was far too young for that.
That's right. I was not going to get married until I was 30. Definitely, that was always in my head. Yeah.
And you also promised you were never going to marry someone that didn't know how to ski.
That is true. Although he does know how to ski now, so that's good.